What is up, Saturn System? I hope you beautiful people are enjoying another wonderful day in paradise. My name is Saturn Cycle, and welcome back to The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. Last time we got bodied by the game. It was just not having it. We are going to play as Isaac, because if we can make it up to the cathedral as Isaac, we will unlock the D6, and the D6 is exactly what we need. Okay, game, I accept your apology. Now we just need a better tier rate, because we shoot so much slower now. That's one of the biggest advantages of 2020, like I was saying in an earlier episode, is it doesn't lower your tier rate the way triple shot and quad shot do. You still fire at the same tier rate, you know, it doesn't change anything, blah blah blah. But I mean, having quad shot, it makes it so that when you're super close to enemies, you do a ton of damage to them. The damage output is actually kind of crazy sometimes. If we can just get our hands on like piercing shots or anything that speeds up our, you know, it would be perfect, a soy milk Libra run, because then we'll be shooting fast and doing high damage. But the chances of that happening are like slim to none. Right now we just need to focus on finding tiers upgrades. I don't remember, when do we unlock Lusty Blood? Because that's one of my favorite items too. I think we have to do certain things as Samson. I'm pretty sure that's how that works. We'll worry about like greed mode and stuff a little later. We'll worry about the challenges and stuff after we've done all we can as these characters. Maybe, oh nice, damage. Maybe we'll worry about it a little sooner. Because there are some items that are locked away behind challenges that we could really use. I can't really think of what any of them are. But it never hurts to have like additional items lingering in the game that can make the runs easier. So what we might do is next week we'll start going over some challenges and trying to, because there are runes and stuff too locked behind challenges, and a lot of those runes could really make our run better. Okay, I mean, I like that it gave us bombs, but we did also use the key we could have used on the next floor for our item room. Really, no? Nothing? There you are. Come on, I needed keys. All I'm getting is money. Dollar bills, y'all. Not gonna look for the other secret room because I hate Curse of the Maze. So we do need to make it through this floor unscathed. I'm gonna put a bomb down here because I hope this has a key in it. It has 2 keys. Okay, so the plan is to make it to the shop now. There's our item room. I do not want Strange Attractor. No, thank you. Strange Attractor makes it so that every time you shoot your tiers, you actually draw your enemies toward you. And that's incredibly dangerous for very obvious reasons. There's actually a challenge called, I think it's called Waka Waka, where all of your tiers are Strange Attractor tiers. And you don't, they're anti-grav tiers too, so they linger in the air. And the more tiers there are condensed in one space, the more pull the magnetism is. Well, that was a terrible sentence. The higher the magnetism's pull is. So you can see why that would be dangerous. And with quad shot, we have a lot of tiers flying at the same rate in the same space. And you can see how that would be dangerous. Where's our shop? There it is. No. Oh. I thought we were going to get tagged there. I really, really, really hope our shop has a spirit heart in it. Please? Ah, game. Just give me a break. So we got to make it through our boss fight without spirit hearts, unless this is a Hierophant card. Please be, please be. Nope, it's a magician card, which, whatever, we'll use it. Bombs. There was a freaking tinted rock right there and I saw it too late. Okay. Goat head. And a spear. I really. Isaac does need to do. He does need to do boss rush. He needs to do. I actually legitimately hate this right now. Because Goat Head could open up deals with the Angel for us. You know, we're going to risk it for the biscuit. Because worst case scenario, we just end up, you know, able to do boss rush with a decent build. Best case scenario, ignoring devil items does help us. We have Curse of the Blind right now anyway, so I wouldn't really want to take a devil deal item. I'm not going to trade HP for an item I can't see, especially if it turns out to be trash like Brother Bobby or Sister Maggie. It could take us to our Guppy Dream though, and that's never a bad thing. But I don't want to rely on that, you know? I took a huge chance on picking up this item to begin with. So I just gotta play my cards the way I was going to and hope that it opens a path to the cathedral. And if it doesn't, you know, at least we tried, you know? At least we tried something out of the box. We're gonna go look for our item room. Because any indication... I can't even think of the words. Any step we take towards extra strength makes this run easier for us. Because we might be in a position where we can't afford to ignore a devil deal, especially if it's a really good item and our run is still really basic. So we're just gonna hope beyond hope that we can afford to ignore these devil deals. And who knows, maybe we're making a mistake. Maybe it'll turn out that ignoring devil deals doesn't change things, but I'm pretty sure it has for me in the past. Please don't be bad. Nice, it's actually incredible for us. So we're going to head on down to the boss fight. And we're just gonna hope beyond hope that we made the right decision. Worst case scenario, we didn't make the right decision, and all that changes, and we picked up Goat Head for nothing. Why all of the dudes? I hate that he's creating all these little boys. But we have the bombs to take care of him now, so I'm not worried about it. How does that taste? Does it taste like defeat? I know what defeat tastes like. HP. We're gonna leave. Alright, it stays open. I don't think it's gonna have a difference. Another Curse of the Blind? Are you kidding me? Get out of my face! We might need to find a special item that increases our angel chance. Why are you such a slippery boy? So yeah, maybe picking up Goat Head was a terrible idea. I mean, it was worth the risk, you know? Get out of my face. Do you know who I am? I'm Captain Planet. I'm the hero. I'm gonna take pollution down to 0. Oh wait, we could if we can get enough HP, we can actually probably make use of that. Probably. We need a lot of hearts. And we don't have many of those right now. I say many, but we don't have any. We have well, I guess we have 3. But we don't, I mean, we would only be able to step on the spikes twice without killing ourselves. She dropped a pill. The disgust in my voice should be evident. I really wished angel deals were a little bit easier to access. Because as it stands now, they're just kind of like... Oh, get out of here. You garbage tier enemy. I almost said garbage tier rapper because I had YouTube rappers on the brain, but wouldn't make any sense. One of my favorite YouTube rappers is a dude named Chase. It's spelled C-H-V-S-E. He did a song called Blackout. That's really good. He also did a song with this dude named Matt PFV called Man Down. And unfortunately, there is a garbage rapper on that track named Dax. I don't know if you've heard of Dax, but kind of a piece of garbage human being. But Chase and PFV have monster verses on that track. And then there's Dax, and he just ruins the whole thing. He repeats bars. He substitutes bars with saying yeah, and then he ends the song with a rape line, which according to Chase wasn't the plan. Apparently they sent the track to Dax, and he edited the ending and sent it back with the way he thought it should sound, which is why it ends with Dax's rape line, which no one in their right mind in today's culture would use a rape line as their closing line in a track. So I don't know. Dax is okay. So this might turn into a Dax rant for a little bit, because he's legit a terrible human being. Tiers upgrade. We did ask for that. So Dax did this thing. He does this thing where he'll charge people for features, right? And then he'll give them verses that have... So most verses have like 16 bars, right? And Dax is known for repeating bars or substituting bars with saying yeah, And there was a point where he... Oh, okay. There was a point where he gave someone like 10 bars, even though they paid for like 16. Oh, not a good spot to be in. There's this one artist, I don't remember what the artist's name was, but they paid for the rights to use a verse from Lil Peep, and Lil Peep is an artist who passed away. And Lil Peep was pretty respected. I didn't really know who he was until a friend showed me. But these dudes paid for the rights to a Lil Peep verse to use in their song, right? And someone else had got Dax on the track. And Dax was like initially was like, yeah, I don't really want to do it because I don't know. He didn't know who Lil Peep was. And to him, because no one on the track was anyone he knew or respected, he's like, yeah, I don't really want to do this. And then I guess he did his research, and once he found out who Lil Peep was, he practically begged to be on the track. And then, after begging to be on the track, they let him, because they were like, whatever. He asks for the stems to the track, and the stems are basically like the original audio files. So they, against their better judgment, they sent him the stems because he's like, oh yeah, my people just want to see the stems, and so everyone knows that like we're not doing anything shady, whatever. So they send him the stems, right? So what does he do? He takes the verses, he edits their verses out, he takes the song to a producer, completely remixes the song, and then makes a whole song with just him and Lil Peep's verse, even though he didn't pay for Lil Peep's verse. So he basically stole it. And then he shot a music video for it. And instead of like paying for the rights to some of Lil Peep's footage, what he did was he basically stole footage from one of Lil Peep's photographers and videographers. And then he posted, put the video together, posted it, and then tried to make it seem like it was a tribute to Lil Peep, even though by his own admission he had no idea who Lil Peep was earlier. And it was like, how garbage can you be? And then he got pissed off at the people that were like, look, if you want to use the verse, you owe us $6,000. which is, you know, it makes sense because they're the ones that paid for the verse. Like, it's theirs by right. And he basically was like, oh, y'all tripping, fam, whatever, whatever. It's, he does a lot of people dirty like that. There's another dude that came forward talking about Dax and how, like, he started paying money to Dax. And Dax was charging him, like, I want to say like $750. It was somewhere like $750 to mark at the beginning for a feature. And, you know, let me preface that by saying, other YouTube rappers, some of them do charge for features and some of them don't. But no one charges nearly as much as Dax does. No one. So the dude's like, all right, whatever, cool. So after a little bit, he started getting a little bit of cold feet, right? So he's like, because his friends are like, oh yeah, we heard some shady stuff about Dax, whatever. So he changed his goal and he was like, okay, cool. I'll pay you, but first, Dax, I want you to come down here to my studio, which was like maybe 45 minutes away from where Dax was at the time. He goes, I just want you to come down here and sign this contract. And, you know, the contract is basically just saying, you know, you'll do what you're supposed to do, I'll do what I'm supposed to do, everyone wins, right? And Dax was making it a huge deal. He's like, oh man, y'all tripping over this. Why y'all tripping? You know, blah, 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 blah. Like, it's gonna ruin my whole day if I gotta drive down there just to sign a piece of paper. And then the dude's like, okay, well, that was dumb damage. Basically, it came down to, like, Dax not wanting to go down to this place to sign this contract, even though all the contract does is protect them both. So the dude even went so far as to say, that was dumb. You know, we're gonna call it there. I'll continue my Dax rant in the next episode. Actually, you know what? No. I feel like talking about this now. It would make no sense to make you guys wait. But, so, basically, the dude was just like, if you come down here and sign this contract right now, I was hoping it was, wait, what? I will give you all of your money in full right here at the studio. Like, keep in mind, he wasn't saying that Dax needed to come down there and, like, start recording in the booth. He was saying, just come sign this contract. And Dax was telling him, like, oh, it's going to screw up my whole day, and if you want me to come down there right now, that'll be $2,000 and all this other nonsense. And I'm just like, fam, it's a contract. Like, do you not know how meetings work? Like, there's a dude, that joke wasn't, that's not my joke. There's a dude who actually did an entire video on this and other Dax things. Other, like, really shady things Dax has done, named Progress. And Progress is spelled with 3 S's. Probably because the actual word was taken, or whatever. But, he goes into detail about all the shady stuff Dax has done. And there are two other YouTubers, two YouTube rappers that he's pretty much screwed over. Two of them I actually, like, kind of follow pretty closely as far as their YouTube content. There's Screwface Jean, even though people say Jean, it's a French name, it's Jean. And there's Crypt, both of which are rappers, both of which have worked with Dax. Both of which are pretty good in their own right. Crypt actually put together a YouTube rapper cipher not too long ago. I'm trying to remember how long ago it was. Maybe a month or so? That featured a bunch of YouTube rappers that I never even heard of that are straight fire. Of course, Screw's on it, Chase is on it, High Res is on it, Vin J's on it, Dwayne TV's on it. Dwayne TV's pretty underrated. There's a lot of people. And of course, Dax is nowhere to be found because no one on that track respects Dax as an artist. Like, there are people that are like, yeah, Dax is good at what he does, but he's a garbage human being, which is why I will never work with him. We're taking all kinds of stupid damage right now. But with Screw, he basically told Screw, and of course Screw paid for a feature. He flew out with his own crew to shoot a video with Dax. I think he said that by the time it was all said and done, he was out $3,000 or so. We're gonna take the pony because it gives us some additional speed and we can fly now. He said he was out like $3,000 or so. Dax gave him like subpar bars. And then part of the deal was that when the video was shot, Dax would push the video. And by push the video, I mean promote the video. So when it came time to, when Screw posted the video and it came time to push the track, Dax wouldn't do it. Well, there goes our deal with the Devil Chance, all because of some troll bombs. But Dax wouldn't push the video. And, you know, Screw was like, but you told me you would do that. And Dax was like, oh, well, I'm gonna focus on pushing this video I did with Hobson. And Hobson is a very well-known, well-respected rapper that's kind of mainstream, but kind of not. He's kind of in this in-between, but he's extremely successful with it. And basically Dax is a clout chaser. He's one of those dudes where he's like, he's like, I compare him to a lot of people on YouTube where they have that mindset where it's like, you know, I'm only gonna work with you or push a collaboration we've done together if it benefits me, and I'm only gonna work with you if you pay me or if you have more subscribers than I do. And it's like, that's his whole thing. So he was pushing the video with Hobson because Hobson is incredibly well known. He wasn't pushing the video with Screw because Screw at the time didn't even have 100,000 subscribers. I think he just recently passed that mark. What? Oh, jeez. That was dumb. That was dumb. But I'm not done talking. This is what happens when I'm like super focused on storytelling instead of the game. Especially when we're not in a good way. But yeah, so he basically refused to push the video until he felt like it. And then when he did promote the video, it wasn't even like a promotion. It was more like Screw posted on his Twitter and Dax just kind of like half-heartedly retweeted it with a comment, and that was that. And so Screw, being the kind of artist he is, put out a diss track. That was pretty good. I liked it a lot. And a lot of people liked it. It got a lot of traction. You know, he was poking at the fact that Dax uses... He recycles bars a lot. Like, one of his go-to bars is, he used to be a janitor. And he'll tell you that in every single song. It's kind of his thing. My name is Dax. I used to be a janitor. I was mopping up piss, and I used to be a janitor. Did I tell you I used to be a janitor? Like, every song he has, every song has like one janitor bar. The song with Hobson, janitor bar. The song with Screw, janitor bar. The song he did with Quadeca, another fantastic YouTube rapper, janitor bar. It's like, my guy, do you have nothing else to talk about? It's because he has no other personality traits that people can relate to, because he's kind of a dickhead. So if you remove all that from the equation, all he's left with is the fact that he used to be a janitor. He doesn't play well with other artists unless they're famous artists that have more power than he does. If you're not above him in status, he's basically saying screw you, you know? That was dumb. The Game Kid, I guess we'll take it. So yeah, he screwed over Screw. And then he also screwed over Screw again. And two other people. He screwed over... Who was on that track? It was Crypt, Screw, and I think it was Quadeca. And Quadeca is very well respected amongst the YouTube rapper community, so, you know, I don't think picking a fight with Quadeca was... I don't think picking a fight with any of the YouTube rappers that are in the mix right now is very particularly smart. Because the YouTube rapping community, honestly, I think it's better than like the Pokemon community, to be honest. Because, not like in terms of their content, because there's two completely different genres there. But the YouTube rapping community is so close, like they're so close-knit. And not in the sense that they're elitist, because they absolutely love to like promote other upcoming artists. Like, they all like to work with each other. Like there's one of the dudes who's on the lower end of the recognized spectrum, but who's got his own flow and everything, is a dude named Dwayne TV. And he's one of the first people who will tell you that he's all about, you know, finding new artists to support and so on and so forth. Whether they have 1,000 subscribers or if they have 100,000. He's like, if their music's good, it's good. Like, their subscriber count shouldn't matter. And the Pokemon community is not like that. The Pokemon community is basically Dax in a nutshell. If you're a big name PokeTuber, you're basically Dax. You're basically, I will only work with you if it's going to help me in some way. It's never, oh, I see potential in this person, I like this person's content, you know, let's try to get their name out there some, because everyone deserves a bit of recognition. No one in the PokeTuber community is like that. No one. Not a single big name PokeTuber will ever stop what they're doing to check out someone that has like 50 subs or 1,000 subs or 2,000 subs, because they don't care. It's not at the end of the day, it's not about community for them. But doubling back to the rapper community, I just had to touch on that because I think it's a really important distinction between their community and ours, and they're just so much more inclusive with their community. But in the where the hell are we going? Oh, there's the boss room. But back to Dax and his, that was dumb. I was scratching my nose and it was moving my glasses, so I couldn't see. Just wasted a half heart. But so Dax did this thing. He was on a collaboration track with Screw, Crypt, and I'm almost positive it was Quadeca. And so he recorded his verse. According to Crypt, it was a pretty short verse. And then after that, you know, everyone else sent in their verses and stuff and so on and so forth. And he heard everyone else's verses and then was like, oh no, let me record a new one. We're not going to take that. We're going to keep aiming for Deals with the Angel. So he heard everyone else's verses and then decided to re-record his verse. But the second time he recorded his verse, we're going to use the Stars card. And the Iron, it's a modest damage upgrade, which we do need. So the second verse he threw out was a diss. Well, like, there was like a subliminal in there where he was like, four dudes and a goat. No, 3 dudes and a goat and a random beat. So he's basically saying that he's the greatest of all time on the track, and everyone else on the track is just a regular dude. So he was throwing subliminal shade at them while he was on the track with them. And they're like, my dude, like, what's wrong with you? Who does that? And of course, he required Crypt, because the track is originally Crypt. It's called Four Horsemen. He was the one that put the track together. He's the one that wanted to gather artists on it. And of course, Quadeca jumped in, Screw jumped in. Neither one of them were like, yeah, pay us for our features. Because they're all friends, you know? They're like, even Screw, like, even if you're not friends with Screw, you can still do a feature with him. Like, he'll still do a feature with you. I'm pretty sure he does charge for his features, but it's not like an arm and a leg. It's like something you would pay an artist for an art commission. Like, I think he said in one of his videos, he charges like $300 for a feature. And for someone that's as well respected and pretty well known as he is, that's incredibly cheap. And because his features are cheap, and even if he doesn't really know who you are or you don't have a high subscriber count, it's not going to affect the content or the quality of his bars. He's still going to bring his A game because that's the kind of artist he is. And that's the kind of artist, you know, anyone would want to work with, where it's like, you know, just because you're not well known doesn't mean I'm going to give you any less than my best, you know? But Dax is very much like that. So no one charged Crypt except for Dax. You know, they all got together to do the video, but Dax was like, oh, if you want me to come down there and shoot the video, that's going to be like an extra $2,000 or $1,500 or something like that. That was so dumb. There goes our... But yeah, it was like, Crypt was like, okay, whatever. I'm already out a bunch of money. I can't afford to keep paying you. So he's like, well, is there any way you can just, you know, film it on a cell phone and send it to us? And then Dax was like, yeah, I could do that. I could do that, my G. I could do that for 500. And it's just like, are you kidding me? Like, it's just you. And the video that he sent wasn't even that good. It was cell phone footage of him rapping in the studio booth. And it's like, that's it? You charged 500 for this? You, my G, are an entire dickhead. Like, he's the kind of artist where, like, if I was famous, I would never want to work with him. Like, I would actively go out of my way to avoid him. Everyone else that I've seen in the current YouTube rapper community, I'd work with in a heartbeat. Crypt seems cool. Screw seems really cool. Matt PFV seems really cool. Chase seems cool. You see where I'm going with this? And then there's Dax. And then there's Dax. And they have other YouTube rappers that, like, they're not YouTube rappers because they're not good. And it's like, why are you here? Like, you know they're doing it because they know it'll get them views. Like Jake and Logan Paul, they need to stop that rice gum douchebag. Like, I hate quote unquote rappers like that. Like, they're just not good. They're just not good. But they swear they're the best. They swear they're goats. And the only reason they do it because they know that if they know their fans are dumb, right? Like, if you're a fan of Jake or Logan Paul, you're dumb. You're an idiot. I will say that right now without any kind of hesitation. If you're a fan of Rice Gum, you're dumb. Because all Rice Gum does, him and the Pauls are very much the same. Their whole shtick is they flex on their fans. Oh, look at my house. Oh, look at my $1,000 watch. Oh, look at this $1,000 t-shirt that I can afford that you peasants can't. All they do is flex on their fans. This has turned into a rant about like YouTube stuff I hate. But back to rappers. There's a few rappers that I like that, like, they don't get, either they don't get credit because they, like, rapping isn't their entire thing, or they don't get credit because people had beef with them in the past. Like I know KSI raps, and he's done a lot of songs with his boy Randolph. I like KSI. Like, his content is hit or miss for me. Like, I didn't really discover his content until recently, which is why it's hit or miss, because, like, the humor gets kind of dated. Like, it's very high school in nature. And I'm not trying to put myself on a pedestal, but I like clever humor. I do like stupid humor from time to time. But, like, when that's all your content is, I can see why some people don't respect you, but I can also see why, like, a lot of your fans are children. But his rapping, I'm a fan of. I'm a fan of, like, that UK sound where it's like, because rappers from the UK have a very distinct sound because they have a very distinct accent, and I just love that because they put their own spin and twists on words that we use. So for them, certain words sound differently, or they use different phrases for different things, and it's so cool to me. I love it. I don't know any of his tracks by name. I just like the sound of his voice when he's rapping. So there's that. Randolph, I've literally only heard him in the YouTube cipher. They seem like they're cool people though. I don't know. I don't know much about rap. But I'm not a rapper. Fun fact, I used to actually do, and don't laugh at me for this, but I actually used to rap in a band when I was in high school. Because my friends and I had, like, wanted to. Okay, so let me preface this by saying I'm a huge Linkin Park fan, like, huge. There are no other bands that have really resonated with me the way Linkin Park has. Even bands I love to this day, I'm like, I love you, but you'll never be Linkin Park. And that's not to say they don't put out music that does have songs that are better than some of Linkin Park's, because Linkin Park doesn't have a flawless track record. I can admit that right now. But I don't know. I grew up on Linkin Park. Their music was there when I needed it the most. But my friends and I were like really into Linkin Park, and we wanted to make a band that put all of our talents to use. My best friend is a bass player. Like all we needed to do was find like a skilled guitarist and skilled drummer, which is harder than you might think, especially in high school. I am just getting hit by everything because I can't see. But I've always been pretty good at writing like stories and poems and lyrics and stuff. So we were like, okay, well, why don't you do that? Like, I'll do that, and you can rap it too if you want, because I'm not much of a singer, so that was out the window. And you know, we finally got to a point where we put a band together, and we did have a few pretty solid rehearsals. And then I don't know what it is about high school kids. I'm about to die. But it's like, whenever high school kids hear, oh, we're in a band, to them, being in a band means getting your instruments together and then all just sitting around talking instead of actually like hashing out tracks and stuff. So Bobby and I, we actually got really tired of that and kind of dropped the band. And we just ended up doing our own things. Like, I had an entire solo project I was working on that I just never got around to releasing or finishing, for that matter. Even though I had a vocalist who was really good and I've known for years, so she was really into the project. But I just kind of, I don't know, at a certain point my confidence really waned and I just kind of gave up. But this episode's gone on too long because I was ranting about stuff. A whole rant. No progress was made in this video. There was just ranting on top of ranting. But if you guys have been enjoying Isaac, and you're looking forward to seeing more in the future, hopefully some more success in the future, go ahead and click that like and subscribe. If you do subscribe, make sure you hit the bell icon so you never miss out on notifications when content goes up. And as always, I've been Saturn, you guys have been awesome, and I'll see you in the next episode of Isaac. Later, everybody.